Okay, we're going to go through the foot and palpate on a model, but also a human. Can you see it in the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So your heel, I want everyone to touch their heel. That's the calcaneus. Okay? That's the calcaneus, and that's what it looks like from the lateral aspect, the medial aspect. Look how large it is. Now, in regards to palpation, it's right here. Superior to that, we have our talus, and this is what articulates with the tibia, the inferior surface of the tibia, to do the tail curl joint or the ankle joint. And that's what helps the foot go dorsiflex, plantar flex. So we have the tibia, the talus, and the calcaneus. To palpate the talus, you can palpate it anteriorly, right on the joint line, as well as a little bit medially. And so I'll show you, I'm assuming you're zooming, etc. A little bit on the inside in here. And that's what we're seeing medially, the talus. Are you getting this in too? Perfect. Okay. Right in there. Now, the next really easy way to get an idea of and be able to landmark everything else in the foot is to find prominent features. So the tuberosity of the fifth metatarsal. So actually though, take your shoe off and sock off, and I want you to feel on the lateral aspect. That's that point right there, and it can be more easily fractured too. So that's the base of the fifth metatarsal. Come proximal, so towards the ankle. And if you just go a little proximal, that's the cuboid. So that's the cuboid bone. And if you notice on the screen here, that cuboid bone, it spans the fourth and the fifth metatarsal. So that's how thick, how wide it is. If you know your heel, your fifth, and your fourth metatarsal, similar to the metacarpal in the foot, in the hand, sorry. We know, okay, get your tuberosity of the fifth metatarsal, come proximal, that's your cuboid. How big is it? Well, it's fourth and fifth digits. That's how big it is. Then you come medially, so you have that aspect, and I want you to feel the bony prominence medially of your foot. So you find, okay, that's my calcaneus, I'm coming forward medially. This is your navicular. And that's your navicular there. And if you come distal, so towards the toe a little bit, that's your middle cuneiform. And it's another bumpy ridge. That articulates with the first metatarsal. Then we fill in the gaps. So, okay, we know this is the navicular, the first bony prominence. Distal is the medial cuneiform. Then we know on the other side we found our cuboid. Notice how, once we're on the middle, the medial cuneiform, we have the intermediate cuneiform and the lateral cuneiform, and then we're back to the cuboid. So you know where the cuboid is. I'm trying to get as much as possible, sorry for rotating. We know the navicular, a little distal, medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform, lateral cuneiform, and then the cuboid sits right on top. So it's a matter of, you know, being confident in a few different structures, and then even if you're not confident in the feeling, when you're beginning to learn, it's all about just approximating things in relation to each other. Then of course we have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth metatarsals, like the metacarpals in the hand. We have the metatarsal phalangeal joints. Then we have phalanges. So same thing in the hand. Each, there's three, so they're smaller, little phalanges. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The big toe only has 2. And then it's the same interphalangeal joint, proximal, distal. But we label it in the foot or the hand. So a DIP joint in the foot versus a DIP joint in the hand. We just have to put that label on it. So let's practice the foot, and then we'll come on back to do up the chain. Go forward.